Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland again, LA. Not long ago, LeBron was fighting in every single NBA Finals. Then, everything changed when the Warriors attacked. Only the Freak, the second youngest MVP ever, was meant to stop them, but when the NBA needed him the most, he was eliminated in the first round. Time passed and John Horst and the gang discovered a great opportunity to win, a trade package with Damian Lillard. And while the team looks great, they have a lot to learn before they can be considered favourites. But I believe Giannis can change the world. I'm ranking the favourites to win the title this year. Hopefully, in less than 2 minutes, we're gonna rank the 22 teams before the actual contenders. Cool? Cool. 30, the Spurs. Wemby didn't move the needle, they still suck. 29, the Hornets. They're falling apart on and off the court. 28, Raptors, arse. 27, Pistons, arse. 26, Wizards, arse. 25, Timberwolves, horrible team construction and all carry. 24, Blazers, underrated young core, still arse. 23, Rockets, stop Ime Udoka and Jalen Green from humping shit and they'll still suck. 22, Pacers, a little bit less arse. 21, the Thunder, a good young core, currently arse, they could be alright. 20, Chicago, should be good.
You ain't dog shit.
19, Hawks, somehow they keep making the playoffs despite being arse. 18, Magic, this young core is about to shine. 17, Nets, Ben Simmons and Mikal Bridges are the best defensive duo in the league. 16, Nola, their entire team's success is predicated on Zion being there, and not only is he never healthy, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be there. On top of the baby mama drama and the shoddy team construction, they're arse. 15, the Jazz, silent but great reconstruction in the last 2 years. 14, 76ers, James is about to raise hell to leave, but Tyrese and Joel should be enough to float. 13, the Knicks, Brunson and Hart will figure it out. 12, the Kings, they've got experience now, that's all they lacked. 11, the Clippers, Russ is about to drag them to the play-in and the main deal will get them through. 10, Dallas, they've had time to mesh the two best offensive talents they need to get it done. 9, the Cavs, Garland is questionable but Mitch is a consistent playoff riser, plus the concept and construction of the team is solid enough to have major success. Number 8 is the Golden State Warriors. Despite losing one of their key players, being a year removed from the finals, and being filled with aging, degrading and overall failing teammates, they still have a good shot. But with Curry being in his last year, it may be their last shot for a while. They could have had Jordan Poole for the future, but they traded away that steady 20 and 5 for Chris Paul, which at the time seemed stupid, but genuinely might work. Adding Chris Paul not only addresses one of their main problems with on-ball playmaking, but also creates variety in how the offense can be run. But first, the playmaking. Outside of Curry, the team's on-ball shot creation is horrible. No one has the gravity or IQ to create better opportunities for their teammates, which can create a stagnant offense, which is probably why they led the league in turnovers, or only got 6 free throws against the Lakers. But adding the point guard, the mid-range magician, the pick-and-roll master Chris Paul will open everyone up playing alongside Curry. That's even if they play together, because they could easily run Chris with the second unit to involve guys like the Cum Bucket who haven't been coming along as well, though it would mainly be used to conserve Christopher's energy, because not only is he the 3rd oldest NBA player, but he also had an injury-prone career. Now he's playing next to no-knee Clay and weak ankle boy Curry. It's scary. As well as this could go, their timeline is coming to an end, and history shows that it won't end well. But history does favour number 7, the Miami Heat, who has been the most consistent playoff team this decade. Unfortunately, everything else doesn't. This Heat team has done miracles with how they've played, with 3 conference finals in 4 years, but it feels like they're consistently getting worse and it's taken more to get further. In 2020, it took a global pandemic and a breakout season from Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. In 2022, they were the 1 seed after adding PJ Tucker and Kyle Lowry, which subsequently gave them weak competition in the playoffs. And this year, Jimmy had to turn into prime Jordan to beat a broken Bucks team, the New York Knicks, and the Celtics team in 7 games. Now they've only got worse. Jimmy is 34 years old, Strus was traded despite providing steady production off the bench, Vincent left after stepping up his postseason play, I forgot Kyle Lowry was on the team, and Kevin Love is handsomely tired. Their redeeming quality is their potential. Bam is already the best defender in the league, and his weakness is so glaringly obvious it should be addressed immediately. Then Tyler Hero simply needs to stay healthy and hit his shots, leaving the responsibility of actually leading this team to Jimmy Butler, who we know takes this shit very seriously. The big three, Lowry plus the new additions like this Kane nigga or Orlando Robinson, should be steady enough to keep them afloat while having enough potential to finish high. But you shouldn't expect one of these crazy runs again. Because falling short is exactly what I expect from the Bucks. Crazy plot twist, I know, the current favourites are not even on the podium. But I have valid reason. Giannis is the best player in the world, Dame is a top 3 point guard, they complement each other beautifully with Dame's great shot creation and Giannis' elite slashing ability. The issue lies in execution. Giannis has not only been favoured to win since LeBron left the East, but has been conference finals bound for years at this point, yet has only made it once. That's because his playoff translation is shoddy. There, I said it. Against serious teams, i.e. the Raptors, he is consistently made useless. He can't draw fouls because he can't shoot free throws. He can't cause problems outside of 5 feet, which ruins his value. His post-game needs work, so he can't change up his playstyle, and this keeps on happening. Now, theoretically, Dame would stretch out the defense, giving Giannis a lane to operate and making it harder for teams to key in on him. But who said Dame was any better in the playoffs? I think Dame is one of the most overrated clutch players ever. For a player who's barely been out the first round, A, what's to say he can handle the brighter lights? And B, what's indicating that he's going to play well in the first place? Since 2017, Dame has shot above 45% from the field 1 time, above his career average 37% from 3 2 times, and has only made it out the first round once. Add the fact that they lost this year because Jimmy was violating Drew Holiday, had Drew shaking every time he came down the court. Now not only have you lost one of the best defenders in the NBA, but you replaced him with one of the worst? When you consistently lose because players attack your backcourt, why would you weaken it? And we know Giannis, despite being a defensive player of the year, will never take that main matchup, and that's where they'll fall short. This duo works on paper, but when you have 2 shaky playoff performers and hope that them pairing up will cancel each other out, you have to question whether they'll truly sync up. And they don't sync up as perfectly as Anthony Davis and LeBron James, who are not only a team that won this decade, but just came from the conference finals. Yes, they got booted out that bitch in 4, but they were there regardless, and they're only looking to get better. The Lakers have gapped themselves enormously since their tumultuous journey in 23. They started out 2-12, their lead guard was shooting 40% from the field, LeBron kept getting injured, every AD injury made the fanbase's heart collectively quiver, and they switched up the roster at the trade deadline, getting rid of their 6th man of the year. Yet despite all that, conference finals. Now in the offseason, they've only gotten better in the most effective way possible, by keeping their core. They didn't switch up the entire roster like they did in 21. They kept their young core who were vital to their previous success, then added Cam Reddish, who's practically all potential, then added great bench depth in Taurean Prince and Christian Wood, who adds length outside of AD and averages 17 on 50% from the field and 40% from 3 in 25 minutes, plus now they have time. They're not figuring it out mid-season, they had an entire training camp and preseason to learn each other. Yes, AD's injury prone, but he played 60 games and is said to be healthier. Yes, LeBron is 40, but he's juicing, so it's fine. This offseason completely addressed most of their flaws, prepared for the future, and created a contender in one move. Also know how AD and LeBron uncharacteristically step up against the Bucks, and Dame isn't going to change that. They have the same flaws they had before, age, consistency, coaching, etc. But in the battle of experience versus talent, experience is going to win out. And there's no better experience than succeeding, which is why the Lakers are still going to lose to the Nuggets. They won't get swept, but they'll lose. Denver already had one of the most successful playoff runs. There was no aspect of, oh, player A got injured on the other team, or a serious threat got eliminated early. They were simply better than everyone in front of them, and there's no reason for them to not be again. Remember, nobody went Game 7 with them. Yes, losing Bruce Bowen, who did step up in the playoffs, will hurt, but you still have the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic, a consistent playoff riser in Jamal Murray, a defender and lob threat in Aaron Gordon, Mr. Never Swing the Rock MPJ, until February to make more moves if they needed to. In recent memory, this is the only team to be favoured to win and won, for good reason. Barring injuries, they stand on business. Add on that this team isn't too old, so their window will remain open for a good while, including this year. They're still in their spring, but the springtime of youth burns brightest for one team. The resident light skin and Mr. Dribbling off his foot, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the future champions, Boston Celtics. Despite their youth, they constructed one of the most well-rounded, defensive-minded, offensively versatile, well-coached behemoth of a team. Last year they went to the conference finals and were one ankle injury away from making a 3-0 comeback. They've already been to the NBA finals and went 6 games with the Dynasty Warriors. which LeBron couldn't do. Jason Tatum has been in the MVP conversation for years at this point. Jaylen Brown is a top 20 player. Peyton Pritchard could be a certified point guard given the opportunity. And that's just the tenured players. Don't let me talk about adding the Defensive Player of the Year candidate and best guard defender in the league, Jrue Holiday, who is better than Marcus Smart in every single aspect, scoring, passing, defense, potential, everything. Don't let me talk about adding Kristaps, a consistently 20 and 8 guy on great splits, as a second or third option. They have constructed one of the best teams in the NBA and genuinely may have no flaws. Okay, Jason Tatum isn't a great playmaker. You have Peyton Pritchard at the 1. Okay, Peyton Pritchard can't defend at his size. You have Jrue Holiday, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Okay, Jaylen Brown can't dribble with his left. Jason Tatum is one of the best shot creators in the league. Okay, you got rid of Robert Williams. Your 5 is weak. Kristaps is 8th in block averages and 12th in blocks total. Okay, KP is injury prone. Everyone else isn't and they already made the finals. Okay, Kristaps dropped in his one full playoff run. Jason Tatum dropped the most points ever in a Game 7. Okay, that's just the starting lineup. They have Derek White, Al Horford, Wenyen Gabriel and more coming off the bench. In an era of super teams and stars moving to play with other stars, the Celtics have cultivated a practically homegrown contender with minimal gaps in their armor. Despite being one of the younger teams, they've ran the East since LeBron left. Because the Bucks don't come out the first round, the MVP said they kick his ass, and the Heat are inconsistent, going from the NBA Finals to a play-in team. When they win, and they will, we will start talking about Jason Tatum as the best player on the planet. And that's on Winning Bias. But if you want to see how Winning Bias works, click this video here. If you like the video, like the video. If you don't subscribe if you want, and I'm done. Okay, bye.